Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
280 inmates sitting in the Bexar County Jail right now. Their cases stalled because they've been declared incompetent to stand trial. So why are they still in jail? Well, they're on a lengthy wait list for a state hospital bed.
Garrett Berger tells us that county commissioners are going to vote on a pilot program tomorrow that could move some of these cases along.
It may seem like a low bar, but a basic understanding of their legal situation and the ability to communicate with their lawyer is a barrier for hundreds of Bexar County inmates, whether because of mental health problems, intellectual disabilities, or something else.
This isn't a grown man, adult man, clinging to a Toy Story coloring book because that's his security blanket.
But the state hospital system, where they could work on getting their competency restored and their case moving again, is backlogged. So many are stuck in limbo, waiting in the jail up to years at a time.
Some of these people have been in our jail for so long that it's already been time served. We just got to get that case in front of a judge and get it moving.
Funded by a federal grant, the Center for Healthcare Services wants to run a jail-based competency restoration program here in Bexar County, working in the jail with single inmates or in group settings. The goal would be to help inmates with mental illness restore their coherence to a point where they're actually able to defend their charges. Or if someone's not likely to improve their competency, to report that back to the court.
Helping the individual understand, what does the judge do? What is your charge? What are the pleas that you can plead for those charges?
There would also be a medical care side to help with mental health issues that may be behind someone's competency problems. The program's goal is to serve about 120 people through the end of next year, get a little more than half of them restored and/or their charges dropped, cutting down the wait list for state hospital beds as much as possible. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
The U.S. Marshal found guilty of manslaughter for a crash that happened more than 3 years ago, killing a 23-year-old woman, has been sentenced. Today, 40-year-old Jonathan Jones, sentenced to 11 and a half years in prison, found guilty on Friday of manslaughter for a crash that killed Taylor McCowan. McCowan died from her injuries 2 weeks later. Jones must serve half of his sentence before he's eligible for parole.
Now today, the spotlight was on a judge, not the man on trial for capital murder. It's day 5 of the Jimmy Tran capital murder trial. And for background, Tran is accused of robbing and killing 22-year-old Andres Salinas back in 2019. Today, before any testimony even began, the defense team asked Judge Cristina Escalona to recuse herself. The defense says the judge told the court that a witness spoke to her on Friday about possibly recognizing a juror. And the defense says that's a problem because they weren't around when that conversation happened.
Without a lawyer present from each side, particularly as it affects our trial. So I'm going to insist at this point, Judge, that you either recuse yourself or call the chief administrative judge.
All right, so after consulting with that administrative judge, Judge Escalona told the defense that they could file a written recusal motion if they choose to proceed. But she also said that in the meantime, the trial would continue. If Tran is convicted of capital murder, he would automatically get life in prison without parole.
An 18-year-old now facing aggravated assault charges after police say he fired a gun at someone. Nicholas Carmona, arrested on Saturday for an incident that happened in September of last year. San Antonio police say Carmona and his brother walking outside the victim's home before confronting him. The three started to argue when Carmona and his brother pulled out guns. The affidavit says Carmona fired at the ground first before the victim ran into his home. The brothers shot into the home before leaving. Carmona also charged with evading arrest and failure to identify charges. His bond set at $52,500.
A San Antonio woman who authorities say gave a man a deadly dose of fentanyl has pleaded guilty to federal charges. Court documents state that 47-year-old Claudia Cardenas gave a man fentanyl in May of last year, and after he ingested it, he collapsed and became unresponsive. The man was given 2 doses of Narcan, but that wasn't enough. EMS came and pronounced him dead at the scene. Cardenas is charged with distribution of a controlled substance resulting in death, and she is scheduled to be sentenced on July 13th. And Cardenas faces 20 years to life in prison. Now, coming up tonight at 6:30, we're going to have a new episode of our Fighting Fentanyl series, and we're talking about talking to your kids about fentanyl. It's a really important conversation, and you're going to see what a local judge is doing to educate kids on that dangerous drug. Her hope is that it keeps them away from that drug, and that's coming up in about 30 minutes.
If you live in the Shorts area, you might start to see a yellow sticker on the back windshield of cars there. It's all part of a new program that could save a person's life. RJ Marquez tells us how it works and why a local mother says it could be the difference between life and death for her daughter.
Time is of the essence. You know, we're taught that in the very beginning, like time is all you have.
Paramedic Amy Anderson knows every minute matters when it comes to responding to an emergency. It's why she wanted to bring the Yellow Dot program to Schertz and surrounding cities.
For us, it's to kind of help not only notify all the first responders, fire, EMS, police, that there's patients that have these higher level of acuity needs.
People with serious medical conditions enroll in the program and get this yellow sticker to put on the back of their car. That lets paramedics know during an emergency there is a yellow pamphlet inside that vehicle with that person's picture, medical history, and vital information.
The purpose is to allow these pamphlets to speak for these people when they're unable to do so themselves.
Tabitha McCollum enrolled her 11-year-old daughter in the program. Her daughter is a pediatric cancer and stroke survivor.
To hear that there's a program locally that can give us peace of mind and time, it's not something you can buy.
She says it also gives her daughter an extra sense of security.
It lets them know ahead of time what they need from you so that they're not scared or afraid or nervous of what's happening.
Schertz is the first city in our area to introduce the Yellow Dot program. Tabitha hopes it sticks around to get emergency care faster to her daughter and those in need.
Just to have this pamphlet, to know that I have peace of mind of I can hand this over and you can take her and go, literally could be her life.
And you can be on the lookout for the Yellow Dot on vehicles in the Schertz and surrounding areas starting today. This program is free to enroll and open to any age groups with individuals that are suffering from advanced to serious medical conditions. Reporting in Schertz, RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Now we're going up to Houston, where we know now who is going to helm the first moon mission in 5 decades. The astronauts are NASA's Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen of the Canadian Space Agency. The announcement cues up training for their historic lunar flyby, which, by the way, is set to take off in November of 2024. The Artemis 2 mission is going to circle the moon in a loop so big that it could end up being the farthest distance that any human has ever traveled. That mission is expected to last about 10 days. And another thing that's exciting people is that NASA says this one is going to include the first woman and the person of color on the lunar surface.
All right, he's got a little hop in his step today because it is going to be a busy weather week. Let's check in with that.
And you know, I'm debating unveiling my Fiesta medal, maybe.
I think you should do it.
This newscast. We'll do it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do it.
Absolutely.
Right after the 7-day coming up. Gosh, I'm so excited today. Okay, anyway, high temperatures today. Very summer-like. I have to focus again. Focus. 102 the high in Cotulla. Carrizo Springs 100 earlier today. Del Rio 99. That ties the record in Del Rio, and even Austin Bergstrom Airport tying the record of 90 degrees. Right now, we're at 90 in town here after a high of 92. Southeasterly wind at 14, so it's very sticky. Not only is it warm out, but it's very humid as well at that dew point of 69. As we go through the evening, just some high thin clouds, a bit breezy with that southeasterly wind, 10 to 15, at times gusting up to 20, and not much of a temperature drop. We'll be falling down through the 80s and then 70s tomorrow morning, right at 70 degrees. Then a huge temperature swing and very promising rain chances. A lot of weather to talk about. This is good. All right, we'll get right into it in just a bit.
Have you seen his medal?
Yes, it's pretty cool.
I don't want to overhype it, but it could be the medal to have this year.
Okay.
All right, I-10 Medical, live look right now as you begin your week. Some closures you're going to want to be aware of. Stephen Cavazos has you covered as you plan your commute.
It's a new month, so that means a new month of closures. Yeah, that's right. We can expect to see plenty of road work taking place in and around the Alamo City, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll talk about what's happening here along State Highway 16 along Bandera Road. Utility work. Now, this begins Monday, April 3rd. This will take us all the way up until Friday, April 7th. It begins at 9 in the morning and should wrap at 3 in the afternoon. What we will see are alternating lane closures from Loop 1604 to Circle A. All right, we're taking a jump here now to Kendall County. Pavement work will begin Monday, April 3rd, but it looks like this may just be taking place one day, 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. What we will see out there are rolling lane closures in both directions from State Highway 46 to Scenic Loop Road. But remember, there's a lot of road work that takes place in Kendall County, so just make sure to watch out and stay updated. Loop 410, one last jump here on the west side of San Antonio. We have concrete work that will actually take us up to one more night on April 3rd, 9 in the evening to 5 in the morning. We'll see a single lane closure on the eastbound lanes of Valley High Road. I know that's a lot of information, but scan the QR code that's now on your screen that takes you to our KSAT traffic page. There's a full list of current closures, so always good to know before you have to go.
Now, today marks the beginning of the 7th annual pothole blitz in the city. Throughout the month of April, pothole patrol crews from Public Works are going to fix 8,000 potholes. It's a lot of potholes. And they're hoping to be done by the end of the month. Last year, people made more than 3,000 calls to the city of San Antonio's 311 hotline to talk about potholes. And city leaders are saying they want you to call that same number if you see potholes so that they can go ahead and fix them.
Asphalt, cracks with time, and then water seeps through the cracks and then undermines the base layer. When a car goes over it, it sinks and creates a pothole. We want to improve our participation from the community, and if our residents can report the potholes that they see, it will help us increase the number of potholes that we repair annually.
Okay, so here's something to know. Public Works is saying that potholes are actually relatively quick to fix. Apparently, they only take about 20 minutes.
It's a pothole blitz. Coming up, you're about to get a rare look at the safety protocols used in Texas biomed labs, where researchers study dangerous, even deadly viruses. It's coming up.
We want you to stick around because here's a look at what we're working on for you on the Night Beat. Controversy within the Texas VFW tonight. The concerns raised by a San Antonio Post commander that may have gotten him stripped of his position.
And they say it's the little things that really count. How team members at a local hospital are encouraging new parents who may be struggling. There's help out there. Those stories and more tonight on the Night Beat.
In other news tonight, the debate continues over whether COVID actually leaked from a lab in China. And even if that's not the case, labs around the world are evaluating safety protocols. Courtney Friedman got a rare look inside of the safety protocols at Texas Biomedical Research Institute, which studies some of the most dangerous diseases in the world.
Research labs have 4 levels of biosafety, 4 being maximum containment, housing deadly agents like Ebola, Marburg, and Nipah virus. Level 3 labs contain tuberculosis, equine encephalitis virus, and the SARS-CoV viruses that cause COVID-19. Level 2 contain viruses like Zika. Texas Biomedical Research Institute in San Antonio has all of those levels.
Our role here is to make sure we don't contaminate the environment. We don't let anything out of our facilities while we do this very important research to make sure that we find a cure, find a vaccine.
Dr. Zhangming Wang, who also goes by Anthony, is in charge of all safety protocols at Texas Biomed, a serious job that starts with training, sometimes taking people years to work up through the lab levels. Part of that involves personal protective equipment, or PPE.
I am wearing PPE for a level 3 lab right now. That includes this air purifying system, which then travels up through that hose into this mask, which keeps contaminants from getting in.
In level 4 labs, you need 100% separation between the scientist and the pathogen, meaning positive pressure suits that need to be checked every single time they're worn.
Making sure they check every nook and cranny, making sure there's no holes and any compromise of the suit.
The lab equipment is also designed to keep dangerous particles away, like this biosafety cabinet where most work is done.
So the goal is to make sure you minimize your movement.
Here in the training lab, Wang brought an instrument generating smoke to simulate how the machine keeps particles from moving through the air.
There we go. See how quickly it clears?
Those cabinets contain 2 enormous filters.
Multiple layers, and you can see how deep it is. We use this as our training to show people what the filter looks like.
All these protocols allow researchers to push the boundaries of science while keeping their community safe. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Look like spacesuits.
Yeah, I know, but it's so cool.
Yeah, very nice. All right, so the weather not so cool. It's a warm one today, Adam Caskey.
Hot.
Yeah, you could say hot,
Stuffy.
right? Yeah, I know hot is all subjective on when people want to use it,
Right.
but I use it relative to what's average for this time of year. And the average high is 78, and we topped out at 92 today, and tomorrow it's going to be more of the same. Very summer-like, record-challenging warmth, actually. Then a huge and significant, very noticeable temperature drop for Wednesday and especially Thursday and Friday. And with that, is the likelihood of some good rain on the way. So let's get right to it. Take a look at temperatures. We'll talk temperatures across the state. For the most part, we're in the 90s and even near 90 degrees locally. Port SA 91, Hondo 93, Converse at 89 now, and Comfort along with Bernie at 86. We also feel the mugginess out there at those dew points right around 70 degrees. So not just warm, hot, but sticky as well. For most of us, the West Texas dry line moved into parts of the KSAT 12 viewing area. Del Rio hot, but not as humid. Dew point of 39, Rock Springs 34-degree dew point, and Junction at 34. So drier desert-like air there, but that's going to be retreating westward overnight as it typically does. So tomorrow, we'll start the day humid with the low clouds in place, 70 degrees. By noon, we're at 83, sunny and 92 again for the high temperature tomorrow. The record high, by the way, is 93. So clearly we'll be making a run at that record, and we'll update you by this time tomorrow, let you know if we actually hit it. Cotulla tomorrow, 101, Laredo 103, Del Rio topping out at 98. Tomorrow afternoon, we're feeling the summer-like warmth again, but that's just for one more day. Look what happens. By Wednesday, the cold front hits. At that point, we're down to 80. Thursday and Friday, we're talking high temperatures right near 60 degrees. So clearly a big temperature drop. It's really going to feel like two different seasons all within 1 week, feeling like summer and then feeling like fall just a few days later. And part of the reason for that temperature drop Thursday and Friday with those highs near 60 is because of the likelihood of rain, some much needed rainfall. Here's a look at the satellite and radar imagery. We've got these clouds streaming in from the southwest, actually hazy out there as well because of some smoke that's in the air from the annual agricultural fires in Mexico and Central America. So you notice that hazy sunset this evening. But we're watching this system in the western U.S., this dip in the upper level flow, that trough, that's going to pass to the north of us, push that cold front through on Wednesday morning, and with it, 20% chance of a few stray showers and storms on Wednesday for the morning hours. Once we get into Thursday, our rain chances rise steadily through the morning and midday, and it looks like the rain's just going to be developing and be really intermittent, coming and going throughout the day Thursday and on Good Friday, and really not tapering off until midday Saturday. However, Easter Day is looking good. Easter, a 10% chance, but I think Easter, the actual holiday, is going to be just fine. So here's your forecast there. That big temperature drop later this week, windy in that transition on Wednesday, and then some much needed rain as we get into Thursday, Friday, and early Saturday. Easter right now looking sunny and 81. And you know my love for cascarones, right? Well, this year's medal is a Loteria card. El Casquirone is what it is, and it spins too. I don't have the spinning on it. It spins.
That you get the effect there, but yeah, it spins as well, which is very cool.
First medal giveaway for me is on Thursday. We'll get the details out to you in the coming days.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Waiting for the request to come rolling in for the Casquirone.
Did we get one in the newsroom, everybody?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah,
we saw them. They're really cool looking.
Just don't break it over anybody's head. All right. So Pop is going to the Hall. He knows that. Is he starting to get excited about it?
You could see a little bit in him that he's excited to get there. But, of course, he wanted Tim to go first, Manu to go first, and he also wanted Tony Parker to go in there. Well, Pop is going into the Hall along with Tony. And coming up, Pop's going to talk about that phone call telling him, Pop, you are in. And in baseball, the Missions are ready for another playoff run. Coming up.
Got to give a shout out to Don Barlow too. He was really good tonight. He's learning how to play. He's so young, and it was just great to see him contribute the way he did tonight too.
McBucket's passing out compliments after rookie Dominic Barlow had a career night with 12 points and 10 rebounds for his first pro double-double in big board sports. The Spurs tipped off their final week of the regular season with a sweet 142-134 overtime win at the Kings yesterday. Doug McDermott scored 26 of his 30 points in the second half. Trey Jones messed around and got a triple-double with 17 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds. And Julian Champagnie added a career-high 26. The Spurs beat the Kings without Keldon, Jeremy, and Devin once again.
It's very satisfying. I think even when overtime hit, we believed we were going to win the game. It was we just had a great energy to us all night. Everyone came in ready to play, and that just shows you anything can happen in this league. It doesn't matter who's out there, and we all just played super hard, and we were very competitive, and that's usually a good outcome.
The Suns will host the Spurs tomorrow night at 9 local time. So Pop got his call to the Hall along with Tony Parker and Becky Hammon. Once the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame finalists were announced back in February, you just knew those three were going to get in. Then on Saturday, it became official during the Final Four in Houston. Pop, Parker, and Hammon are going in with other greats like Pau Gasol, Dirk Nowitzki, and D. Wade. Chairman of the Hall of Fame, Jerry Colangelo, called Pop to deliver the awesome news.
Jerry called and told me that I was selected, and congratulations, that sort of thing, and sort of a phone call you never think about or expect. It's like somebody telling you that the Earth is flat. Some weird feeling that you have out of body experience, because it's not what you grow up thinking. You love the game, but you don't think in these kinds of terms. And all of a sudden somebody calls you and says that, so it was pretty awesome.
The class of 2023 will be enshrined during festivities in Springfield, MA on August 11th and the 12th. The San Antonio Missions will start their season this coming week on the road in Tulsa. The Missions hosted a 2-game preseason series against Monclova at Wolf Stadium over the weekend, and they split the series. San Antonio started hot last year and clinched a playoff berth thanks in part to reigning Texas League batting champion Connor Hollis. He's one of 15 players returning from the team, and they're ready for another successful playoff run.
It's awesome to be back in San Antonio. It feels like we're almost picking up where we left off last year. I was here all year last year, and just being back here again this year, it's bringing back a lot of memories and some of the cool things we were able to accomplish with the no-hitters that we threw, and then winning the first half. And it's a little bit of unfinished business to take care of. So hopefully, go out here, start off hot, win the first half again, put ourselves in postseason, and then try to finish what we didn't finish last year.
The Mission's first home game at the Wolf will be next Tuesday night against the Frisco Rough Riders at 7:05 p.m. and that will open up a 6-game homestand for the Missions.
Sweet hat he had on.
I know, I love that cap.
Yeah, nice lid, as the kids say.
There you go.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry.
Flexing over here. All right, well, after the break, speaking of kids, have you spoken to yours about fentanyl? Well, some leaders and law enforcement say, yeah, you should. And you're also going to see how they're handling the conversation with 5th graders in a new episode of Fighting Fentanyl. That's up next after the break.
In this edition of Fighting Fentanyl, an important question. Have you spoken to your kids about fentanyl?
Don't wait. Local judge and agents from the Drug Enforcement Administration certainly aren't. They brought a group of 5th graders from Huebner Elementary into a courtroom to teach them about the deadly drug. And their hope is that the lesson keeps them alive and also out of trouble.
It's very deadly. If you see someone taking drugs, you should tell someone.
These 5th graders from Huebner Elementary got the message loud and clear. Don't use fentanyl.
People are taking one pill, fake prescription pill laced with fentanyl. They're falling asleep and they never wake up.
DEA agents, along with other law enforcement, met with the students at the Justice Center and spoke about the synthetic opioid.
And no one has any idea what is actually in that pill or those pills.
The field trip was Judge Belia Mesa's idea.
We value your life.
She says the students are about to enter a pivotal time, middle school.
There's a lot more that goes on socially in middle school, especially with children now having access to smartphones at a much younger age.
So what can parents do? And this is the most important tool that parents can use when it comes to protecting their kids. Check out what apps they're using. Also find out who they're communicating with.
In most cases, that is how people are obtaining the drug. It's through different messaging apps, online.
From here, DEA Special Agent Tom Mangiamelli hopes the kids take what they've learned and share it with their friends and family members, because that conversation, he says, is a good step toward fighting fentanyl.
One pill can kill.
All right, information is power.
Yes.
Information is key in all of this. Did you get the sense that kids were paying attention? Because that's not always a given when you're talking about kids.
Sure,
this
you
age.
think they zone out. How do you make it so that they understand? Here's what shocked me. They were really into that presentation when I was watching them, and they asked a ton of questions. And we didn't show this part, but there was a Q&A session with the DEA agent and some of the kids. And one of them even started asking questions about another drug that I've never heard of. And so that also tells you something, right? As a parent, when you sit down with your kids, you don't know what they're thinking. Sometimes you just have to ask them questions and start a conversation.
Well, that's also an important part of this, parents having that conversation. Okay, obviously it's not always easy, but I think one of the DEA agents even talked about what parents should do in all of this.
Yeah, and a lot of it is watching what your kids do and watching what apps they communicate on, because that's what's key. In a lot of these cases that they've been investigating, the DEA, where somebody ends up accidentally taking fentanyl, believing that they're taking another pill like Xanax or something, they go through their records and they find out that some of these kids, they just went on Venmo, and that's how they bought the drug, and they communicate online through all these different apps, TikTok, things like that. So that's why it's so important to look at what your kids are on.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Stephanie, but this is the insidious nature of this drug, of fentanyl, is that a lot of times these kids aren't looking to get high. They're looking for something to help with anxiety or help with depression or something like that. And they don't feel like they can talk to their parents necessarily about this. So they're trying to figure it out in different ways. And that's when they get the stuff that often has the fentanyl with it, correct?
Yeah, even college kids. I mean, when we launched this series a few weeks ago, over a month ago, we interviewed a father whose daughter was in her first semester at UTSA. He doesn't think she was trying to get fentanyl. She probably was just looking, she was stressed out about finals and all these things. So she was just looking for something to ease her anxiety, probably thinking it was Xanax or something. Well, it wasn't. It was fentanyl, and she died instantly. And that is the scary part.
Yeah, something for anxiety, something for depression, something to help you focus. I mean, you're promised all these things by somebody that's not over the counter. It's not, something that's prescription. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking necessarily for cocaine or heroin or anything like that.
There does tend to be a dismissive attitude whenever you talk about any drug or any campaign out there that's looking to raise awareness, because a lot of people think, it's their choice. They wanted to do it. Okay, well, these are kids the same way when maybe a lot of us were young, maybe some of us drank before we were allowed to legally. That's kind of what some of these kids are doing. And sometimes they're just desperate because they want to ease their anxiety or they think they want to bulk up or something.
Yeah, and these were kids in this particular instance that wanted this information.
Yes.
They were engaged, they were part of it.
Very, very. And the other thing that the DEA said they really want to get across, if there's one thing that he wanted these kids to know before they walked away, was never, ever, ever take a pill from somebody unless they're your doctor or your parent.
Exactly.
Never, ever, ever, because that's what's happening with these. And that's why they have that one pill can kill campaign, which we've also been talking a lot about, which you could see on our website. But that's the main thing. You don't want to take pills from someone who isn't a doctor or your parent.
Right. You don't know where they came from.
No.
Yeah.
And there's no way to know. And some of these pills look like they could be Adderall. They look like they could be Xanax.
Yeah.
But they're not.
Information is power. While we're on this conversation, we invite you to scan this QR code on your screen. It will direct you to more stories on fentanyl that we've covered here at KSAT. You can learn more about the drug, what it does to your body, why it's dangerous, maybe share some of this with your kids, how school districts are trying to keep them away from your kids, and how you can get your hands on a medication that can stop someone from overdosing.
All that information right now on our website, ksat.com, and we'll see you on the other end of the break.